wonder. Beautiful. Thanks so much for joining us, everyone. It's Conversations with Ladies Who Launch. And today I have the beautiful Natasha Berta. Natasha calls herself a business growth mentor, and she is an extraordinary lady. I'm so excited to, I don't know, get some behind the scenes on your business and your life, Natasha. I've known you for a while now, but I don't think we've connected that much.
It's funny how you feel like you know each other.
I know. Natasha and I are contacts, but we we probably know each other from watching each other's stuff.
Maybe. And maybe it's a past life. Who knows? There's just some connection there that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Anyway, thank you for joining me.
It's a pleasure. I'm so stoked to be here. And I think it's really good timing because we're going to talk about launch. And I just came out of a big launch. And yeah, I don't know what I was going to talk about before that.
I'm sure you would have had something.
Launch is a funny thing though, isn't it? Because there's so many, there's these big convoluted launch strategies that people have, and then my usual way of launching, which is so anti that. And there's this, launch is, what is launch really,
What is launch? Well, I know. And one of the reasons I started this is because I was having amazing conversations with women in business of all different levels of business, and it all felt really normal. But then I would have little fledgling people come to me, and I'd be doing mindset coaching with them. And I don't mean little fledgling. I mean, like they were at the beginning journey of starting their business.
Yeah.
And they would put people up on their pedestals. And I'm sure I did this too. But yeah, one of the reasons why I wanted to do this was to show people that, it's never perfect. And to have the behind the scenes kind of conversations, but also to convince people that they could start launching, and whether you call it that or not, and whether it's like most of the people that I speak to are really in the process of not having to launch and making it more of an evergreen kind of situation.
Yeah.
But just having conversations about launching or non-launching or whatever.
Yeah. I think I felt like I tried a lot of different I've been in business for nearly 7 years. That's a long time, isn't it? And I think I've tried lots of things. Like when I came in at first, I wasn't planning to be in business. So then I was really open to having a mentor with prescriptive ideas, and that was really helpful initially, and tried their approach to launch, which, sometimes that looks like a 6-week time period with one webinar, and then 4 weeks or 2 weeks promoting a webinar, 2 weeks promoting early bird, another webinar, and then maybe another week of early bird, and then cut that off, and email sequences and like this big thing. So I've definitely tried that. But what I found in that process is I got really lonely because, and the same with running challenges, where I'm sort of one-way communicating. I found that really doesn't work for me, that I need lots of connection. I need to be like in the room with people. Otherwise, I can't tell how well something's going. So those big 6-week launches left me feeling really disconnected and worried and anxious.
Yeah. And there are seriously so many pros and cons for each. Okay, but I'm going to go backwards a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
My first question is always, if you walked into like a networking room and you heard 2 people talking about your work, what would you love for them to be saying?
Well, I always want people to think I'm smart. It's so funny. I think it's a childhood thing. I would want people to say that I'm smart, which people always say, that's lovely. And that I'm really caring. These are things people already say that I really like. So I'm lucky in that way. That it's just really helpful. It's great value.
What would they say that you did?
Oh, what I do. That I help them grow their business.
Cool.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. I think that pretty much happens already. On a really tactical level, I help people with technology a lot. So people get stuck on a certain thing, like they don't really know how to use Instagram, or they don't really know how to use MailerLite or whatever. So I do have some courses that are really specifically for those things.
Yeah, like DIY, starting a business.
Yeah.
This tech.
Yeah, because a lot of my people, when I do market research, a lot of my people are like, oh, I'm really self-paced. I like it when there's just content and then maybe a couple of Q&As. So my product development has been really responsive to what my people want. Like if they said, we want this, we want X, Y, Z, I would literally just do that. So anything I've created is just in response. I'm a generator in human design. So what they say, I just go make that, and that works beautifully.
Oh, that's amazing. Most people have to like learn that. Like they want to make this thing and then they have to work back the other way because they're like, actually, do people want this? What?
Yeah. That's so important because so many people have in the past come to me and gone, oh, I built this thing and it didn't sell, you fix it. I'm like, whoa, it really doesn't work like that. Like, did anyone actually tell you that they wanted this? Because, and then they say to me, oh no, everyone just wants one-on-one with me. I'm like, but you want the course so that you can have an evergreen life. But that's not actually how marketing and having a business works, in my opinion.
Yeah, cool. Awesome. And so can you paint a little picture as to what your business looked like 6 years ago when you started compared to what it looks like now?
When I started, I was finishing a degree and I was in this insane situation. My partner and I were so crazy. We're like building a house, doing our degrees. We had a 2 and 3 and 9-year-old, and we were house building as well. It was just insane. So I was squeezing my business into these little night hours, or any minute I could still. It was like having a secret lover, and it was really
secret lover.
Yeah, it was like having a secret lover, and I would like sneak off when everyone was asleep and like hang out on my computer late in the night and do stuff. And that was completely unsustainable. I had no structure, but I was having I was in takeoff and I was running through the takeoff process, which was great. And so doing market research chats in exchange for sessions, and also selling really cheap sessions. So like $50 an hour or something, and just gradually building up and trying to figure out what it was that I do and what it is that I offer. Because I thought I was doing a degree to get a nice job. And in the end, I started running a business, which I was not going to run a business. I was like, no, it's not for me. Now, what it looks like is a beautiful vessel that is quite compartmentalized, like it's in its little thing, so that I can have personal time. It's like 9 to 3, 5 days a week. And I also take school holidays. So it's really systematized. I have a really clear strategy. I really know who I don't want to work with. I have excellent boundaries. I have a beautiful calendar thing that supports me to eat each day and maybe even exercise most days. Like it's a very nourishing, generous thing that gives to me, and I get to serve others. So it's a really beautiful thing now.
Wow, that's such a beautiful description. And I love like how you described that it was like a secret lover.
Oh, can you relate? In the middle of the night.
I'm not working.
No, nothing to see here.
It's so amazing. Like in 2022, you literally can like work off this number. Like you can work off your phone.
Yeah, it's great.
It's amazing.
I love it.
But maybe not so amazing when it's like a secret lover.
Well, I had to grow out of that. Like that got really uncomfortable and unsustainable, and I got really sick, and like, I've had personal health stuff. I'm anemic and I've got perimenopausal crazy scene. So it's been a big process of me learning to like put me at the top of the list with my family and with clients, and just look after and nourish myself. So I've gone through a big personal growth in that time as well.
Yeah, well, they say that having your own business is like a personal, well, I say it's like having your own business is like a personal development journey on speed.
100%. It's like the ultimate spiritual path, because there's no safety net. I mean, I'm lucky my partner's a teacher and he's okay with me running a business. But yeah, there's like no fallback. It's all on yourself to make rules or not make rules, succeed or not. And it's really not for everybody. That's the other thing. I think breaking the employee mindset takes such a long time as well. Yeah, it's a big, long thing.
It's a big, long journey. Sorry.
That's right.
Cool. And what about some of the highs and lows? Can you give us kind of a bit of a picture of what they've looked like and what have been your lessons through them?
Yeah, the lows come to mind more easily.
yeah, as they do for all of us.
I mean, I used to break up with my business all the time because it was so unsustainable. Like, I just used to get really jack of it, and I would enter basically every school holidays like swearing off it, and I'm just not going to do it anymore, and I'm just going to get a job. So, you know, that was pretty hard. And then within a week or two of having actually a break, I'd get really excited about it again. So that was just really uncomfortable, not knowing how to make space in my weeks so that I didn't burn out, so I didn't get resentful. That was all really uncomfortable. And I did have this 1 year where I made this, I did that thing that we talked about, like I made this product and I was like, I had this big idea that I was going to sell. And I spent a whole year wholeheartedly committed to this program that had a few people come in the first term. And then I had 2 people who had committed for the year. So I kind of had to write it out, and it just didn't, nobody else got it. And I couldn't find a way to explain it to people. It just was a bad fit. And that was a whole year. Yeah. That just was like, what was I doing? So I feel like that was a bit of a low. And I would say the highs are just like a lot of highs. And the high is like working with people who I just feel like I love them so much, and I feel so loved by them. Like there's just this beautiful love flow, which is what I seek so much in life, and that I can actually get paid to be in a love flow state where I just love, I mean, really what I do is I just love people. I just hang out with them and love them. And then I do a little bit of computing stuff as well. So it feels really magical so often. Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing like how much that client work does nourish you. Like I started this whole series, Conversations with Ladies Who Launch, because I was already having conversations with ladies, and I was like, I do it on a Monday because it starts off my week. I feel really inspired. I've chatted to all these beautiful business humans.
Cool.
Yeah. So cool. All right. So do you have any go-tos in challenging times? Like anything that you lean on, either mindset tools or people or?
Yeah, I think the people, that's a good point. Like I have one really close friend who's been in business as long as I have, who's just such an optimistic person. She's like so positive and fun. Like you could just be walking in poop with her, but it'd still be fun because she's so awesome. So having colleagues or, you know, like a posse of some kind, like your people, is so helpful because I can talk things through who's like actually in business, who understands, like not just any kind of friend. Because if I talk to my partner about it, you know how that gets so pear-shaped, or, you know, it has to be the right person that you talk to. And that can be as well, like I'm in a mastermind, my mentor at the moment is George Cow, and that community feels really good. And just having him kind of in my pocket, like I hardly ever go to calls, I hardly ever call on him, but just having a mentor that is like got a strategy that feels really aligned, I just don't feel any disconnect and misalignment with his strategies. So that's just such a blessing. And taking breaks is so important. Like I have inflicted breaks from the school holidays, and I often complain and daydream about when I don't have the kids, how my business will be this and that. But I actually think it's really great to have the constraint of, you know, school days and also school holidays, like imposed breaks, because that is so often what people need. Like they either grind so hard or they don't really have a structure. So because they're in business, they're like, oh yeah, like one client, she's like, oh, it takes me all week to make my content. And I was like, well, it's that funny thing, like the tasks expand to fit the time. I was like, what if we just try and just spend 1 hour a week on content instead? So I think, constraints are actually so helpful.
Yeah, because otherwise it can just inflate into this big, beautiful beast. But yeah, I've had so many clients like on holidays where they only work 1 hour a day, or a new parent and they only have like a specific amount of time. It just kind of forces you into that next level of like, how efficient can I be in this time?
100%. Yeah, it's so much better actually. And really drinking water is amazing. Like space clearing mist, I have so many. I have like this whole selection of space clearing mists. I fully believe in this. And setting a timer, like if you get on Facebook and you're trying to fix a problem, you need to set like a 15-minute timer. And then when the timer goes, you just need to walk the fuck away, because you can spend a day, like, I talk to people like, oh, it's taken me 4 hours. I'm like, you should never give 4 hours of your life away like that. Like, set a timer for half an hour. And if you can't resolve that, dog day,
reach out. Yeah.
Go away from the computer. Like,
I love that. I love that. Like, don't ever spend the 4 hours. No way.
I've done it
for anyone.
I've done it as well. And then like after 3 or 4 hours, I'm like, what am I doing? Like, no, that's against the rules.
Yeah. Yeah. And I love that idea of challenging ourselves to do it in way quicker than we thought was possible. Like, I was once on retreat with Tash and had stalled on doing my website for a year or two.
Yeah.
And she said, write it in 15 minutes, go. Yeah. Timer on. And I was like, holy shit.
That's the go.
We ended up doing 2 poems, but like, I had my first draft.
Exactly. Yeah, it's quite magical. I had a content course today and we did a 5-minute timer and it was so quick, but everyone started writing a bunch. Like, you can actually I can nearly write a blog draft in 10 minutes. So timers are quite magical.
Yeah. Cool. And what about easy? Like, do you have any go-tos that make business easy and fun?
Yeah, fun. I just enjoy my business so much. I just really enjoy it. So I don't really need extra help with fun. A cup of tea makes it better. But things that make it easy, I mean, I use Asana. That's been really good. And I know not everybody likes it, but if you haven't tried using the board view, I think you need to suss that out because it's different and it's really yummy. And also I have had this whole epiphany with Google, like using the Google Chrome browser and then using Google Docs. Like, you can type docs.new and it starts a new Google Doc, and you can search in Chrome. If you label your documents well, like, you can type in the name of your document and it doesn't just search Google, it searches your Drive as well. So I think it's something I maybe have to do a course about soon, because there are so many amazing Google hacks that have streamlined my life like crazy. Like, I have folders of bookmarks and I don't know, it's just really easy. Google Drive, it's saved and it's free. Makes things really easy.
Oh, definitely let me know about that one, because Google Drive, I'm a Dropbox girl.
Oh yeah, I've tried that.
But I do use Google Drive for some things. So yeah, hit me up, send me a link when you
And the other thing I think is having a really good boundaries about where you're going to communicate with clients, because I remember when I used to have email and messenger and texting and I wouldn't be able to find anything and I just wouldn't know where to find it. So I just decided.
So you have to search the SMS and the messenger and the email.
It was torture. I was like, nah, I'm just doing email. So I don't mean that email is what it has to be for you, because some people love messenger, but whatever it is, just choose one communication channel and just manage that. And if people come in other ways, maybe you'll get to that 2 weeks late. Like my Facebook page messenger, I'm rubbish, but I sort of put up an automated thing that just says, look, I'm not really here, just come over and email me. So just choose one and channel everyone to that, because it makes it so much easier.
That's a great idea.
Thanks.
I love it. Thank you so much for your tips.
You're welcome.
Cool. Super cool. All right. Well, before we go, I would love to know what you are promoting at the moment, like free, paid, what's on offer?
I'm about to promote something, but because I've been on holidays for 3 weeks, I can't remember what it is. But it'll be some kind of course coming up. I do have a group program that I can take people in anytime, which is actually my favorite thing right now. Because I went through a whole mindset thing of, I didn't think I could run a group program. After that other one I did, that low, the year of that group program, I had this story running that I couldn't do a group program.
Yeah.
So I did some market research, and over time I developed a group program, and I started by just doing a beta, like 6 people for 6 weeks, and I priced it really low. And it's just become such an intimate and beautiful supportive space, like both ways. Like I feel so happy to be there, and everyone always gets something out of it, and it's crazy affordable. I don't think group program's the right name for it, because I don't have a very strict curriculum or a strict process that I'm going to walk people through, but it's ultimately about just spending time together and growing the business, and knowing that I've got this massive suite of tech support that I can help you with, and a bit of mindset stuff as well seems to be coming in more and more for people. So they can find that on the website. I'll share a link.
Yeah, beautiful. Send me.
And there's courses all the time. Like, speaking of launch, I launch kind of like every couple of weeks. There's something.
Yeah.
And so that it's very light and it's not too much pressure. So if people want to, they can just follow me on Instagram, and I'm always spruiking something.
Yeah, cool. Oh, tell me about your last launch and how did it go?
Well, my last launch was for a summit. That was mega. I used to do this thing way back called Blab. I don't know if anyone remembers Blab, but it was like, there was Periscope, which was live streaming video. And then there was this thing called Blab, and you could have 4 people on Blab. So we would do like I would speed interview people. And so I thought a summit was going to be like that. I didn't really know what a summit was.
Yeah.
I even bought a ticket on a summit and went to Elizabeth Goddard's summit, and still thought that it was a good idea that I should do it. And so I signed up with Krista Miller, and I did her Summit in a Box program, which is phenomenal. And I highly recommend it if you're thinking of a summit. But a summit is super techy. Like, you need a website, you need e-commerce, you need a course platform, you need deadline timers. So there was a lot of tech set up, which is fine because I like tech.
Yeah.
But it was massive. It was weeks and weeks. You've got speakers, you've got attendees, you've got the tech. It's this big sandwich and you're in the middle. So it was good. I built my email list and I met a heap of new people and I learned a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would do it again. And I'm going to actually write a thorough blog about my experience, because people keep asking me how it was. But I think there's potential. And I think perhaps I niched a bit too broadly. Like I needed to be like a summit for naturopaths about content creation, or a summit for kinesiologists about setting up your business online. Like I needed to be even more narrow. I thought I was so narrow, but I needed to be narrower.
And how specific were you?
I said it was about clarifying your message.
Yeah.
And ultimately with a view to book more sessions.
Yeah.
For intuitive healers.
Yeah, right.
Multi-passionate intuitive healers.
Yeah.
It was still just too broad. And my coach, Krista, had said to me, I think that's still a bit too broad.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, it's not. And now I see how it was. Yeah.
Good old like, oh yeah. Took me the whole process to come back.
Yeah, that's the thing. But I think that the thing with following her strategy is like, you get an Asana or a Trello board with every single step, and she's got so many tutorials. Like if you'd never done any tech, everything's there. She gives you a website, she gives you all the templates. So it's a really cool system. And I think that's what partly attracted me, is that she's very competent and it's a beautiful offer that she gives. So yeah, I just met heaps of beautiful people. That was what was so great about it. And maybe I would do it again. I think it's a bit like having a baby. Maybe the labor is still just a bit too clear in my mind. And in
and now you'll know, like if you do it again, you'll know where you need support, right?
True.
Like,
yeah. Well, and the website's already built and everything's already set up. So much stuff would be already done. So maybe.
We'll sit on that one. We'll see. We'll see.
We'll see.
Beautiful. Cool.
Thanks
Well,
so much, Anthea.
Yeah, thanks so much for having a chat with me, and send me
Pleasure.
a couple of links. If anyone has any questions for Natasha, just come by and pop them in. I'm sure she'll be happy to come back.
Yeah.
She'll also pop in her socials so that you can follow her. And I'm so happy that we've had this chat and I've got to know you a bit more. We'll have to keep in touch.
Thank you so much. I hope I see you soon.
Yeah, absolutely. Bye.
Thanks, lovely. See ya.
Bye.